I grow up, I want to be, well, a butterfly. Now, before I get back to that, I think there's something you should know about me. Before hearing one sentence, I had never before considered happiness to be an ambition. But that was until one day, in a small village in Karnataka, when a boy answered the age-old question we're all a little too familiar with. So what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course, growing up, I was conditioned to answers like an astronaut or scientist, president of the whole wide world, or my personal favorite, I wanted to grow up to be Dora the Explorer. But here's the thing. I had never before considered being happy to be an ambition, but that was until one day when a boy, he shot up and without missing a beat, he said, I want to be a butterfly, as happy and as free as a butterfly. Well, now the 10-year-old me, my brain immediately short-circuited. As happy as a butterfly, how is that a real answer to this profound question that could possibly dictate our entire lives? Well, that's when I begin to question, why not? Was it because for so long, we've been told that happiness is something to be achieved after success, not in a prize in itself, but as if it's the reward for checking off all the right boxes. Dream car, dream job, six-figure salary, check, check, check. Maybe now you get to experience a little bit of happiness. And personally, I agree, I've always thought like this. I've always thought that success and happiness were a linear path, one inevitably leading to the other, rather than thinking of it as two parallel goals. And because of this thought process, we begin to shove aside happiness like an eventuality, something we'll achieve after that exam, after the degree, after the promotion. And then we begin to become plain cardboard cutouts of what once was a real person as we answer the question, or more importantly, try to answer the question, am I successful yet? And well, especially now when we see so much faux success on social media with the steroid-abusing gym rats to the it girls with bulimia, and we can't quite forget the crypto influencers living the dream in their rented Ferraris. Well, they're all selling us the same idea. The idea that success is the gateway to happiness. But here's the whole truth that nobody is telling you. You can never be successful enough because good is truly never good enough. For instance, take Edgar Allan Poe, Van Gogh, Kafka, Emily Dickinson. Aside from being one of the greats in each of their fields, one cut off his ear, the other became a virtual recluse, and one is believed to have even poisoned himself. So I want you to take a moment to just guess what could possibly be the common thread that connects each and every one of these people. Well, they each devoted every second of every hour of every waking day to becoming successful, yet they died unworthy, unappreciated, and leading truly unhappy lives. And not to be depressing, but the truth is, we're not all that different from them. Yes, we're not all that different from the guy who wrote Metamorphosis or the guy that painted so many masterpieces. Because at the end of the day, we all also just want to be happy. In fact, there was a study done that said 80% of people have their entire major life goal as just becoming rich. And another 50 said their entire purpose was to become famous. And did you know 65% of students truly believe that their whole purpose in life is to get a perfect score? Imagine that. Nerds, right? Well, I am very much a part of that group because I truly believed that if I sacrificed my today to get a perfect score, I would be happy when I finally achieved it. In fact, I sacrificed so many moments with my own friends and family because I believed it would be worth it. In fact, I had a saying, you can't really make omelets without breaking a few eggs, right? And as much as I am a fan of eggs, I realized that I was using this to rationalize and excuse every single no I said. Whether it was no to going out with my sister to the park, or no to watching the movie that I dreamt of watching for so many months, specifically Bridget Jones' Diary. And as Bridget said, if I sacrifice my today, I can ensure that I will be happy tomorrow, right? No, because here's where both Bridget and I went wrong. And to explain that, let me bring you to the exact night I realized just how wrong I was. It was around 2:30, the morning right before my social studies final. I had about 6 chapters left, and of course, procrastination, lack of sleep, and unrelentless stress really got the better of me. And while I was teetering on that brink of sanity, I heard myself telling my dad, who, by the way, was trying to convince me to get an hour or 2 of sleep. I told him, I don't matter as long as I get that 100. I don't matter because it doesn't matter if I put myself through hell, if I don't eat, sleep, or drink water for days, as long as I get that perfect score. But that's when my dad asked me the question, if you're so busy doing this, when do you get the time to be happy? And that's when I began to question, was happiness ever truly waiting for me at that finish line? Or was it in every moment that I'd been too busy to cherish along the way? And this undying and obsessive desire for success in each and every one of us subtracts from our overall happiness. But you see, there is a way to get over this paradox. And to do so, I want to introduce you to my very best friend. You see, in our brains, there's this little part that ensures that we complete all of our goals. And when we do, we're at the top of the world. But that feeling of enoughness is incredibly short-lived because you see, my best friend, Pam, or dopamine, she believes in creating euphoria, but taking it away immediately. She needs to restore equilibrium immediately. So we're left in that cycle, hoping to one day recreate that feeling. But the thing is, Pam, she's just a bit misunderstood because we can train her to change what we view happiness or completing a goal from a matter of I am happy because from a matter of I'll be happy when. Changing happiness from something we can only attain after an unattainable goal to a matter of finding happiness in every single moment. In fact, just when Pam and I became really good friends, it's when I learned how to harness my superpower. Because every time I said yes to something that would bring me happiness, I felt that superpower activate. I started saying yes to going to the park with my sister, or finally watching that movie, or what has been my lifelong goal, finally making cinnamon bun rolls. But here's the thing. I did not come up here to change your whole perspective or make you rethink your whole life. My only goal is to give you a moment to question what happiness truly means to you and when you want to choose to embrace your own superpowers. So, tonight, right before you go to bed, I want you to take maybe 10 seconds out of your day to ask yourself a question. If you could be anything in the whole wide world, what would you be? Now, I know people that would say a doctor, an engineer, superpower, wizard, anything, probably even president of the whole wide world. And the truth is, if I asked the 10-year-old me, I probably would have said Dora the Explorer. But now, having gone through everything I have, I think I would settle for just being happy. And what about you? Thank you.